everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Miss Sandy and you can call me Sandy. I wanted to take a little bit of time and share some about of who I am. I'm not going to go into great detail, but I want to give you some basic information about who I am and introduce myself, and I will be sharing more and more about myself in future videos, so we'll get to know each other a little more as time goes on. I do want to apologize for my first video, which I was informed you could hear the English bulldog that's here snore. I am watching my daughter's dog. I've had her for about 4 months, and she is an English bulldog. She does 3 things. She eats, she poops, and she snores. I did my first video in my second living area, and I had the door closed, so I really thought the door would block out her snoring. But obviously it didn't, and so I apologize for that. I am now recording in my bedroom and hoping that you won't hear her snore through my bedroom door. But I guess we'll see, right? Also, the quality of the video. I have a brand new phone. I have a Samsung S23 Ultra. I think I've only had it for like a week and a half. I know it has a fabulous camera on it, and I'm just having to learn how to use it. I always say the camera's only as good as the user behind it, right? You can have a fantastic, expensive camera, but if we don't know how to use it, then the pictures are probably not going to be all that fantastic. So I'm learning, and I'm hoping that with each video, the quality gets better, and we can focus more on what we're talking about, right? Instead of annoying little things like a dog snoring. The other thing is I did take notes. I have quite a few notes. And so if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at the notes. And the reason I have notes is because I can be mid-sentence and totally blank out whatever I was going to be talking about or whatever the point is. And even if I have someone with me that tells me, this is what we were talking about, this is what you were saying, whatever the thought was, it flew out of my brain and it is gone for good. Now there's 2 ways we can respond to something like that, right? We can get frustrated, we can get angry with ourselves, we can, say bad things to ourselves. Why do you always do this? I actually had someone tell me one time, how do you live with yourself? Wow, how do I live with myself? I just do, I guess. I tend to laugh about it and say, well, that went flying away, ain't coming back, next. Because getting angry with ourselves or getting frustrated with ourselves or putting ourselves down, it's not going to make anything different. It's not going to help the situation, right? So it's much better just to laugh about it and go with the flow, because life happens and we just need to learn to go with the flow and not allow little things like that to really upset us and ruin an afternoon or ruin a day, because our brains do strange things sometimes. This started like when I had my stroke about 8 years ago, and it would be a word. I would be talking and then all of a sudden I couldn't get a word out. I could hear the word in my brain. I could see how the word is spelt in my brain, but I couldn't get it out. That got better over time, and it's not been until the last probably 3 years and really the last year where I've had this happen more and more often. It is what it is. I'm good with it, but I do will be and do write notes so that I can stay on track and kind of hopefully bring get the point across. Um, just a little bit about who I am. I'm 61 years old. I turned 61 in February. I live in the Rio Grande Valley. That is deep South Texas, right by the border. We're probably about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes from the border. I have 8 kids, 5 boys, 3 girls. I have 15 grandkids. I recently just moved into this apartment complex. It is a brand new apartment complex. It is awesome. So I literally am the first tenant in this apartment. So that's been a kind of a cool experience. Like all the appliances are new. Everything's brand new, brand spanking new. I haven't really done a whole lot of decorating yet, mostly because in October I had an extensive total hip replacement, and so I've been focusing on recovering, and the finances are a little tight, and so that's one reason. The second reason is I don't have a problem with blank walls. I don't even have a problem with all white walls. And so when I see something, I only want to buy it for decoration if I absolutely, positively, really, really like it. I don't want to buy something just because it'll fill a space. And so that go is going fairly slowly because I don't go out a lot purposely looking for things, right? So I will probably be sharing with you the different things I do get for my apartment when I find them, and hopefully make this more homey. I enjoy spending time with my kids. I enjoy spending time with my grandkids. I enjoy walking. I live about 2 hours from South Padre Island, so I'm really close to the beach. Love taking walks on the beach. I love the sunsets. I really like crocheting. Crocheting for me is therapeutic. It's very relaxing. And so I don't even know how to explain it. But if I'm going through like a depressive episode, crocheting doesn't take away the depression, but it just helps me feel a lot better. And maybe because I'm making something or creating something, I don't know. But for me, it's very, very relaxing. I absolutely, positively love to read. I like to read self-help books. I don't read romance only because, in my opinion, they're all kind of, I don't know, cheesy. I do psychological thrillers, mysteries, things like that. I also just started tutoring kids in reading because I strongly believe, that if you teach a child to read, he will be able to teach himself or herself anything they want to learn. They can teach themselves if they know how to read. Also, I believe you give them the world. I mean, there's nothing like a good story. I feel like we are raising a generation of kids, though, that don't know what it's like to read a good book, to really get into a book to where you can't put it down. And I think a lot of that is because of electronics replacing books. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but we will discuss that in a later video. I've really enjoyed tutoring, and I just like working with the different kids that I work with. What is this channel about? Well, it's about everyday life and living a good life in spite of any mental challenges we might have, any physical challenges that we may be dealing with, any medical challenges that we might be dealing with, any financial problems we may be struggling with. Being able to live a good life in spite of all those things, and learning how to live in the midst of struggle, right? My life is so not perfect at all. In fact, it's kind of messy on the day-to-day, right? And I just want to invite you into my mess where we can get to know each other, and we can share our day-to-day, and that you will find inspiration, encouragement. You might learn skills, coping skills, knowledge, understanding, support, where you won't feel like you're alone, because you're not alone. Everyone somewhere in the world is struggling with the same things we struggle with, right? And you're not alone. I find that the older we get, and especially when I talk to older people, older than 60, that they're lonely and they don't have very many friends. And life has just become a humdrum, right? So I really want to emphasize that you matter and that you're not alone. And hopefully we'll laugh. Laughter is a medicine. It can be very therapeutic. It's good for the soul. And so I try to laugh a whole lot. And the more we can laugh, the more our spirit is more joyful, right? So we can kind of get to know each other. I'd really like to know a little bit more about you. If you want to let me know what your age is, if you're comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with the exact age, just say I'm in my 50s or I'm in my 60s. And where are you from? You can just put, you don't have to put the city, just put the state or the country you're from. I really would enjoy seeing that. And then what kind of things would you like to see on this channel? What would you like me to share and talk about? Feel free to put that in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. And I just want to say hit the like button if you liked this video. Click the subscribe button and the notification button so you do not miss out on any future videos. I appreciate your watching, and I just want to invite you to join me in this adventurous ride called life. And it is an adventure, isn't it? So until next time, be safe and be blessed.